Sometimes people that we meet for the first time have never had a problem with their heart. They are new to this journey, so we need to educate them. And you know, if you've had a serious heart issue, it's scary. We had a patient who needed a new mitral valve, and we told this person that, you know, we can do this here. It was another advanced therapy. He had had some exposure with the hospitals down Ann Arbor, Detroit. He says, well, you know, maybe I need to go down there. And we said, well, you can do whatever you want to do, but believe me, we can handle this here. And he finally said, you know what, I'm going to let you do it. I think we just instilled some confidence in him. He trusted us, he believed in us. We did the procedure, very routine, very quick. And it really kind of changed this guy's life in terms of any of the symptoms that we were able to relieve for him. He was so super grateful, and it was just a heartwarming story for not only him but us, because everything just went so well. And we kind of convinced this guy, look, we can do that.
This facility, for being a rural hospital and a rural cath lab, you wouldn't think that we have a lot of specialty devices and specialty items, but the staff here is very experienced, and they've worked with a number of cardiologists over the years and kind of built a base of specialty items that we have in this cath lab that you're not going to really see for 60 to 75 miles in any direction.
The benefit of working up here really comes through the staff in the cath lab, the staff in the office that really allow me to thrive as a physician. But more importantly, I see a lot of support from donors in the local area providing some of the greatest technologies. Having access to shockwave, having access to OCT, having access to IVUS, having access to all the greatest technologies in the local area that many facilities don't have access to really makes a huge impact in how we treat patients.
So in a community like this, where there's an older population, the acuity of their sickness is a little bit more, their hearts aren't as strong. So the ability to have the state-of-the-art technology allows us to work on older patients who are sicker, safer. It's a hospital with a great reputation for cardiology historically. It was considered a center of excellence, very academically based with research. So I'd heard about that and known some doctors that had practiced here. So initially that was a draw. And since I've been here, with the addition of the foundation that has been funding a lot of the program, with unlimited resources for the most part, unlimited amount of equipment, it allowed us to practice a very high level of cardiology with the up-to-date technology that any big academic center would have. Here in a small community, it's unmatched.
There have been a lot of advances over the last just few years with injectable medications that have really revolutionized the treatment of, say, lipid therapy, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. A real hot topic these days is amyloidosis and the treatment. There have been drugs that have been developed recently that have really revolutionized that care. And the other area that I think has been very special is the percutaneous or minimally invasive treatment of valvular disease. We offer all of that here, and it's been a huge advance because people can recover so much easier with those kinds of therapies available. We're involved in a lot of trials here and research at McLaren Northern from a cardiology standpoint, so we're always exposed to that, and as a result, a lot of our patients are willing to become part of our trials, and that helps a lot. So these are part of worldwide trials that we're involved with. So I'm heavily involved in the research aspect of things.
The enjoyment in cardiology comes really when you take care of a patient from the beginning to the end. When someone comes in with a group of symptoms, you order a test, you're able to diagnose their symptom, then you're able to do the procedure to relieve their symptoms, and then you see them in the follow-up, trying to explain to them what they experienced, how they're doing better, and getting them on the road to recovery. For me, that is the one thing I'm very passionate about with cardiology. Whether that's because I place a pacemaker in someone, or I do a peripheral intervention on someone, or it's a coronary intervention or a valve replacement, it really doesn't matter. What matters to me is that the person feels better after that procedure, that they're able to do more, and they're able to get more out of their life. That's the most important thing.
We have several different subspecialists in cardiology that are available to us right here on staff that we can go to and say, hey, this is a special person, this is a special case, this is a special problem, what are your thoughts? And it's great to have that backup because nobody can know everything. The hospital has served this area for many, many, many years. And people that live in the area have a special relationship with it because they know that when they're ill or when their relatives are ill, they're going to be coming here. And so there's a direct connection with those folks. They are just attached to our facility, and they expect that they will continue to get the high quality care they've gotten throughout all these years. So we're able to provide that. We need to provide that. We make an effort to provide that. If we were in a larger city, there would be other more tertiary centers, as we term them, that would be providing that kind of care that we really wouldn't have to do ourselves. But because we're the only shop in town, as it were, we have to make certain that we can provide that. And that's what we do.
I like to try to preach a healthier lifestyle and try to get people back on their feet with less of me. And so really that education is the most important thing.
The first person and the most important person in their healthcare is themselves. So the important thing is for those patients and those people to take care of themselves, stay active, to take their medications as prescribed, and to be aware of what symptoms they're having, so that they can let us know, and so that then we can try to treat them in the best way possible.
The cath lab here offers a lot more than what you would think a kind of rural facility would. With coronary, we have specialty equipment to assess the severity of the disease that patients have in coronary arteries, and we offer a image-guided service that allows for very limited contrast use to detect coronary disease, and that's what we have to offer in this lab. From a peripheral standpoint, with peripheral vascular disease, we offer an array of equipment to treat very complicated disease, from devices for atherectomy or specialty balloon angioplasty. And 9 times out of 10, the patients will walk out of the hospital same day. When I did my subspecialty rotation for internal medicine, I got to work with an amazing cardiologist, and she kind of was the type that took the bull by the horns, and she really mentored me to a great degree in medical school, and that really made me fall in love with cardiology.
Other facilities don't have the opportunity for this equipment, and these patients have to go to tertiary centers, whereas we can take care of them here with the assurance that the procedure is being done safely with the right amount of support. I come from a family of cardiologists. My dad is a cardiologist, so I grew up around the cath lab and cardiology patients. I was rounding with my dad when I was just a youngster while he was on rounds on the weekend, so I was exposed to it early, and I was fascinated by the angiography and the heart as a organ system. Ultimately, when I was in residency, I sort of gravitated towards reading EKGs and hanging around the cath lab just to see what was going on. It was the most dynamic organ I could see. They were the smartest doctors, they were the most educated, and they did the most interesting procedures with the most immediate results. Ultimately, that's what I decided I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing, and pursued it from there.
I have felt that cardiology was the peak of all medicine since my very first job working in a hospital when I was 19 years old. I was a transporter pushing people to their cardiology studies. The cardiologists that I worked with kind of took me under their wing, and they showed me so much as this young kid that didn't didn't know anything, and really they didn't have any reason to teach me, but they did anyway. And then I learned so much from them and just found it so exciting what you can do in cardiology to really help people, and really help a lot of people, because cardiology is what really helps so many people, because coronary artery disease and heart disease is so prevalent in our country. So that's really what drew me to cardiology. Well, what sets McLaren Northern apart, it does have a really good reputation for delivering quality care and throughout the full gamut of medicine, especially for an area here further away from the city centers. Just that we can give the full gamut of cardiology care here is really enticing.
For me, cardiology, I truly enjoy physics. I truly enjoy hemodynamics. I truly enjoy when I take care of a patient and they have a symptom, that you're able to take care of that symptom by fixing an artery based on the hemodynamics. That you have a blockage, it causes a flow disturbance. You're able to open it, and that flow disturbance is gone, allowing people to do more with their lives. For me, the enjoyment comes in taking someone who walks 2 miles a day, who's no longer able to walk those 2 miles a day because of symptoms, and able to return them back to where they're at. I like to try to preach a healthier lifestyle and try to get people back on their feet with less of me. And so really that education is the most important thing. It's a hospital that's well situated, well located. There's a significant number of people that are in need of healthcare. And I think that coming up here, I'm able to provide care to people that truly need it. But what we have here is a great group of team in the cath lab team that's here. We also have great structure that's starting to form now that McLaren's coming back in this area and showing a real commitment to this area. And I feel that what you see in particular are the donors in the local area that really believe in this hospital. And they feel that spending into the cath lab, allowing us to have a new cath lab being built in 2026, allowing us to have the latest and greatest technologies like Shockwave and also Impellas and CPs and RPs, all these different devices that are in the cath lab just allow us to be better off. And so really the access to the greatest tools in this area to provide great care is really the benefit of working up here in northern Michigan. And I think for that reason, you're seeing a lot of people showing a commitment to this area. We've hired 2 interventional cardiologists last year. We have another 2 that are coming we have 1 that's definitely coming next year, and we'll hopefully have a second. And so we'll see. I think as this program gets busier and stronger, you'll see the benefits in the outlying communities in particular. The enjoyment in cardiology comes really when you take care of a patient from the beginning to the end. When someone comes in with a group of symptoms, you order a test, you're able to diagnose their symptom. Then you're able to do the procedure to relieve their symptoms. And then you see them in the follow-up, trying to explain to them what they experienced, how they're doing better, and getting them on the road to recovery. For me, that is the one thing I'm very passionate about with cardiology. OCT is an equipment that we use in our cath lab. It's a technology that's offered to many hospitals across the U.S. And what I find is that the quality of work that I do with that OCT catheter is so much better in particular. It allows me to visualize the entire vessel. It's allowed me to figure out where the stent needs to be placed exactly with pinpoint precision, and allows me to have much better access to providing good quality care to our patient population. It's a tremendous help in our care.
We have a very large drawing area with this hospital. We're a smaller hospital in size, but because of that large drawing area, we have to take care of these people. There's a lot of complex things that we take care of despite our small size. So we offer lots of advanced therapies from a cardiology standpoint that you really wouldn't expect to get from a hospital of this size. And that's exciting for me because you remain current with all the advanced technologies that way as a physician.